Hi, I'm Kevin Christopher, and welcome to another LEX 18 Digital Conversation. I'm joined by two of Lexington Catholic High School's top milers. In fact, in Class 2A, they're the best in the state. Spencer Carman is the reigning state champion. He set a personal best in winning the mile back in May with a time of 4:23.52. And the guy breathing right down his neck as they came to the finish line on the track at UK is Joshua Castillo, who was a mere 44 hundredths of a second behind Spencer as they went 1-2 in the mile. Welcome, guys. Great to see you both. Thanks for coming in. Listen, there have been some great duels in the state mile. Tate's Creeks, he meant to say, Ben Young, and Madison Central's Brennan Fields come to my mind. They jockeyed back and forth in the lead a couple of years ago before Ben finally took him in the last 50 meters in just a great race. You guys were virtually side by side this year. Take me through that race. Take me through the first 400 meters, Spencer.
So in that kind of race, it was weird. I don't know how Josh felt, but I felt kind of lethargic at the start of the race. So I don't know, my body felt kind of funny, so I thought the only way to get it out of me was to go out hard and kind of like shake it off. And so going out there, I didn't think I was going very hard, and I didn't think it was going to be a very good race. But coming around the first lap, it said about 59 to 60 seconds for the first 400. So I kind of knew at that point that I was going out pretty fast. And I could hear like the guy yelling the times, like telling Josh as well so I could tell he was right behind me when that was going on. And then during, I think it was like the second or third lap, I could hear one of the KSHA officials saying that I had about a 30-yard stretch at that point. So
Josh, where were you when he was 30 yards ahead of you?
Okay, I wasn't expecting him to go out anywhere near that fast. Yeah. He took off, and I was like, man, I got to stick on him, and I can't let him get away from me, otherwise he's got the race. And I was just trying my hardest to stick on him, but he was blazing. He was going really hard. And so I was just struggling to stay behind him right there.
You had the 30-yard advantage. At what point did you know you had to separate from the rest of the field?
Well, it was since the beginning pretty much. We were both kind of away from the field. We both went out. And it was kind of like Spencer by himself and then me right behind him. And then the rest, like everybody else, like a pack of everyone. So it was kind of us two. And then towards the end, I think there was a third runner that caught up to me, and he's the one that really pushed me to catch up to Spencer.
Final lap, there were 4 runners, really with a shot at winning, and just about 2 seconds between you, Spencer, and Sam Kaiser from Collins, I think it was. But you hit the line first. Josh is right on your neck. Tell me what was going through your mind as soon as you looked up and saw the board, saw the results.
Oh, I could tell about 10 meters ago. I really didn't have any idea of how close they were, because you can only hear when people are breathing down your neck, but like when you have the whole...
Plus it was pretty loud there, the crowd.
Yeah, it was such a loud crowd, I couldn't tell, so I was just coming across the finish line. I was like, I'm glad this race is over. And then I knew at that point, like, I'd won state. And so that was a great feeling. Then when I finished and I turned around, I saw Josh finish right behind me. And that was a great feeling to see your teammate go 1 and 2 with you at state. So.
How about the reaction from your teammates and your families, Josh?
Oh, man. I mean, they were just elated to see that we both went 1-2. And we were excited, definitely. We talked about our regions. We were like, man, it would be the best thing ever if we could go 1-2 together. And our teammates, like, they loved it, and it was fantastic.
Did it matter who was 1 and who was 2?
It definitely did. Like, we both definitely wanted to win it. It's one of those things where it's like, you want to win it, but it's also satisfying to have your teammate be with you.
Mm-hmm.
You guys are just juniors. Are we going to see a repeat of this next year?
Definitely.
Huh? Same strategy? You're gonna bust 60 seconds in that first lap, Spencer?
Probably. That's why I did that last year too. So yeah. I'll probably just go with how I feel.
Spencer, I've known you a few years. You and my son Jared, who of course was a 4x800 guy on the Henry Clay back-to-back state championship teams. You guys have been friends for a long time. And there was a time when I was sure, and I don't know if Jared was either, that you were even going to have a running career. What do you remember about that stifling hot day on the cross-country course at Masterson Station Park when you were just a freshman and running in your first 5K?
I remember it was like 90 degrees that day, so I was trying to drink a lot of water, but I think that was before I realized how important hydrating was. And so as the race went off, I got out pretty hard because I wanted to win that race immediately. And so for the first few miles, like, I felt good the first 2 miles, and then, like, I was having to catch a kid from Scott County to win it. And so, like, coming across the finish, I think it was, I had to, like, sprint up the hill. And
That's a long hill. That's a long uphill climb out there.
And as I finished, I was completely exhausted. Like, I've never felt exhaustion like that before. And so, like, I could barely stand. And, like, they were kind of, like, rushing us to go across the chute. And I think someone kind of pushed me, and my legs gave out, and I passed out on the ground. And after that, I tried to drink some more water, and I just kept throwing up. And I think it was that point I found out, like, I had a heat stroke.
I was there, and it was pretty scary. We had cold packs on you. We had you under trees pouring water on you, and we finally had to call 911 and get the EMTs out there because we were afraid that you were going to stroke out. Luckily, we got you to the hospital, and you made it. At no point in time did anyone out there ever think that 3 years down the line we'd be looking at a state champion miler. That is some kind of turnaround, Spencer. You should be really proud of what you've done. What have you done to work that hard to get that good? And now I know this isn't a 5K, but you're also running cross country too. But what has your regimen been? After that episode, surely you must have thought to yourself at some point, oh my gosh, I can't do this anymore. Your parents were terrified. They, you know, everybody was just freaking out when that happened. So how did you break the news to them that, listen, I still want to run?
I mean, running's a sport that I love doing. It's something I look forward to every day. So, like, the next day, I was talking to my parents. I'm like, can I go running? They're like, you need to rest for 2 days, and recovered. And then after I continued running. It's running something that's difficult for me not to do. Like, we have to rest every season for 2 weeks, and I usually struggle with that.
Yeah, because it defines you, doesn't it? It defines who you are as a student athlete.
It's something I love doing, like just getting outside, and like it's kind of like meditation, just kind of like let your mind relax.
How about you, Josh? Because you didn't start out as a runner, did you?
No, I was actually a soccer player my freshman and sophomore year. But Spencer over here and my other teammate, Adam Walker, they were the ones that really got me into running. And they were really supportive of me. I mean, I went from having never run a distance longer than a mile to going 50 miles a week. And they really helped me power through that, because I remember at the beginning, we would go on long runs, and I would just, like, I couldn't even finish. I'd have to stop. They'd have to leave me there. But they've definitely helped me out to get to where I am today.
Any regrets becoming a runner and leaving the soccer stuff behind?
Not at all.
Because you're running cross country as well, correct?
Mm-hmm. It was my first season this year.
Yeah. How did that go?
It went very well. I enjoyed it a lot, and I'm looking forward to the next season.
Well, it's certainly a great preparation for outdoor, particularly when you're running a mile. You get all that distance work in. And again, as I said earlier, we've had some great milers come out of the city. Ben Young, Brendan Fields down at Madison Central, Kendall Muhammad over at Dunbar, and these guys are just a pipeline right to UK. Surely you must be thinking about college right now. Josh, let me start with you. You got any aspirations to run at the next level?
Yeah, definitely. I'm guessing I'd like to run at the highest level I can run at, but I also have to keep in mind, like, where do I want to go education-wise? So I'm still really starting to look into it. I don't really know just yet.
Nothing on your radar at all? Not at least 1 or 2 schools?
Well, UK has always been like my home school, I guess. So I guess I'm interested in them as well, but I don't really know.
All right, you got time. You got another year. Spencer, how about you?
Well, yeah, running for your home state, whether it be UK or UFL, is always a big deal. And yeah, I've started a list. Like, it's still really new. Like, I've looked at a couple of schools, like in North Carolina, like UNC Asheville or Wake Forest or Davidson. I've also looked at like Florida Southern, but and Belmont. But like, it's all still fresh. Like, I'm open to going anywhere. And like, right now I want to major in biology in college. Like, that's a major that I could go anywhere and major in. So
I would imagine that's why Florida Southern's on your radar, because they have a great biology department down there. And it's a terrific school too, out down there in Lakeland. Yeah. Well, you guys have got some time to think about all of that. Anybody running Midsummer downtown this summer?
I might. I'm not sure, because I want to focus more on cross country, and like 5K. The 5K is a little bit different than the mile. Like, every time you do a 5K, it's a lot of energy taken out of you. So like, I might want to focus more specifically just on cross country instead of the road races.
Toward those first meets. All right. Well, listen, guys. Again, Spencer Carman, Joshua Castillo, state champion, state runner-up in the mile, Class 2A. Great to see you guys. Great stories from you both. We wish you all the luck next year and in your college careers as well. Great to talk to you.
Thanks.
You're welcome. And that'll do it for this Digital Conversation. I'm Kevin Christopher. We'll see you next time.